The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of Para X, its affiliates, or its sponsors.
I'm horror author T. Fox Dunham.
And I'm horror author and filmmaker Phil Thomas.
And tonight we're asking you,
what are you afraid of?
We're back.
Yes, we are.
Hey, Phil.
Hey, Fox.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah.
We did it.
Yeah.
Woo! Hey, guys. We're back.
We're back.
It's
been a month.
It has been. Yeah. I know. We are here at Comic Zen. Yeah. Oh, Ceiling Cat is watching me on Facebook. I have it broadcasting
on Facebook.
Yeah. Come on in and to the webcam and say hello.
Oh, Facebook. Nice.
Yeah. Come here, you big love.
Yeah.
All right, so we're good. And we are here at Comic Zen. So, you know, there's going to be some background noise, but bear with us. So we have a good show.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, I know. You know, this is loud and clear. We are Clarion. Now let's see what happens when we try to play a song or something like that.
Yeah, we're worried we wouldn't sound good, but we're coming through loud and clear.
Apparently so. Well, there we are. We did it.
Nice.
I know. Yeah. So how are you, Phil?
Oh, I'm good. I had a great week. How about you?
Busy week.
Busy week.
You know.
Same here.
The new show is coming out tonight. I know the headphones make you a little bit crazy.
Yeah, they do.
You start distracted. I'm so in love with the sound of my own voice that I was just carried away with myself.
You're listening to yourself.
Right, I know. Yeah, so
episode 46.
47.
47.
Yeah,
right.
it's Ghosts of War tonight.
That's right.
On 9 o'clock.
Nice.
New show. Good episode.
That's right.
You know, your Cinemug interviews will be on.
Yes, they will. That was a good time.
You have Veronica Giglio.
Yes.
Friend on Facebook today. And we've got 3 War Ghost stories tonight at 9.
Yes.
That's going to be incredible. I'm really looking forward to those. So.
And you narrated one.
And you narrated
one. And Allison.
And Allison narrated one. I know. So it was really quite cool. Well, let's see who's in the room. We got Scone Cat. She's no longer Ceiling Cat. She is now Scone Cat. Because she's got a thing for scones. We've got...
Thing for ceilings and scones.
Ceilings and scones, apparently. She's eating scones on the ceiling. We've got Cat, who's with us, and Poochie Cute, and I'm sure some more of the, the bums of Para X will be filing in to the chat room. And she can see me on Facebook. Hello, everyone who's watching me. I'm very vain. Hi. I don't know if you can hear us, but we'll work that out one of these days. It's an experiment, you know.
It might just be, watching in silence. You never know.
Watching in silence, like my wedding. Did you see my wedding video?
I don't. You mean the actual one in Scotland?
Yes.
I didn't see that.
Oh, we go to Scotland. It's just a couple of us. We couldn't exactly take a wedding party to Scotland. And I set up, in fact, that's why I got the microphone. I set up the laptop, set up the microphone, blow $200 on a nice H1 microphone, get it all ready, and I leave it in the hands of my soon-to-be brother-in-law to broadcast it. He got the video right because I set it up, but he gave up on the audio. So it's like a silent movie.
Oh, God.
And I actually, on the YouTube video, I actually added in subtitles.
Nice.
But we had 100 viewers watching us live get married in Scotland.
That's really cool.
We had people who had wedding parties at their houses sitting in front of the big television.
You should have charged by the minute.
Well, now we should start that.
Yeah.
We really should.
Yeah. You know, you should kind of edit the video. Since it's silent, you should edit the video to make it look like an old 1920s wedding. You know,
like a black and white.
Black and white with some grain.
And like Buster Keaton will fall out of a train, and then we'll come back, and I'll be holding Allison's
Speed up the video that gets like running really fast.
Yeah, that would okay. I don't know if Allison would be good with that, but
well, keep the original and then just make a duplicate. All you know.
Well, I suppose we don't have to tell her,
right?
You know,
the original will stay intact, and then just kind of like make a duplicate. You know,
it will indeed.
You know, touched up.
Right. Oh, okay. I can do that. Mm-hmm. So you feeling spooky tonight?
Feeling very spooky.
We are at Comic Zen tonight in Lansdale, PA for First Friday. Tim Hershey is here with us. Yes. He's been very kind to us. I'm living in the back room at this point, bathing in his sink. You know, and there's tale that a ghost samurai haunts the comic book shop.
At least you have some privacy, though, with the Star Wars
curtain. With the Star Wars thing.
Yeah, the Star Wars curtain, the divider.
And if you're listening, go to my Facebook page, T. Fox Dunham, and you can see us on the webcam doing a silent movie. Don't be surprised if Buster Keaton doesn't jump in there.
Right.
Okay, I got to be really careful.
You were saying about the ghost?
The ghost of the samurai.
Right.
Lives in this building, apparently, and you can hear him on the sound. We'll play that for you now, and I think we're going to play a promo or two. We're going to jump into, you know, we don't do all new material on the live Phillie Foxxy Haunted Spooky Hour. We play some of our favorites. We play some new stuff that you can only get here, and you know, it's good.
Yeah,
it's good. We go back to our favorites, and this is something that really only the Para X Radio can get.
Right.
The audience here. We don't really do this on our podcast. We don't, you know, have it download, so they have to tune in here.
It is a bit different.
It is indeed.
The podcast. This is live.
Right. So this is Devil's Toothpick from the Swamp Music Players and our old Willie Boo. I love this song. This was on episode 17 when we first introduced him, and it's just
many moons ago.
Many moons ago. I know. Episode 17, 30 episodes ago.
I know. Good.
Can you believe that? Anyway, if you've got some friends, bring them on. Let's get them in the chat room. Let's talk and get them on Facebook so you can see us. And we'll be hanging out for the next hour. She waved. Cat waved. That's fantastic. We're waving back.
Hello, Cat. Waving back.
Hi. So this is The Devil's Toothpick by Willie Boo Walker and the Swamp Music Players.
Your source for everything paranormal. Para X.
Up to my door, smashed it with his hand. I should have killed him there and then, for I'm not that kind of man. He grabbed me by my neck, he looked me in the eye, said I'm going to take all you want and you can watch it die. Hey, buddy, the schoolyards are empty. Hey, buddy, my O is dry. He took my house, my family, took my scrap of land. He took cement and water and he mixed it in with sand. True to his word, I watched the green turn into gray. He set the sky on fire and it still burns to this day. Hey, buddy, the schoolyards are empty. Hey, buddy, used to have a home, now it's all through love machine. I used to have a country life, now it's all just rush, rush, rushing. I used to have a family life, now it's all through our machines. I used to call this country home, now it's broken, stone cold and dry.
Hi, this is Tim from Comic Zen. We're located at 301A West Main Street in Lansdale, right near the intersection with Susquehanna Avenue. We have new comics, old comics, graphic novels, including comics made just for kids, action figures, statues, comic supplies, board games, card games, and much more. We have a special order service for both comics and games, and we have a comic subscription service so you don't miss your monthly issues. So come to Comic Zen. Just don't upset the samurai ghost who haunts the store.
And guess what, kiddies? Foxxy and Phillie will be recording live from Comic Zen in Lansdale every first Friday of the month. So come down and see us at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Well, not then, because we will be recording live for the Phillie Foxxy Haunted Spooky Hour on ParaX Radio. And bring your ghost stories a little before or a little after, and we'll be glad to collect them at Comic Zen. Fridays, first Fridays, at Comic Zen. Comic Zen in Lansdale, PA.
Quality warning. This podcast often records in the field to gather the best in paranormal materia from witnesses. Often, we cannot control the quality of sound in this environment, such as you may hear distortions or perhaps the occasional moaning. But then again, we're not about control, are we?
Embrace the chaos.
Your source for everything paranormal. ParaX.
Love the Swamp music players.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Willie Boo Walker, wonderful guy.
Oh, yeah.
Really talented.
Using him for a while now.
Yeah, so cats are listening, and we got some people on the Facebook page. You know, they're all waving. Yes, that is Phil, Scone Cat, and here we are.
Yes.
Yeah. So sorry, there's no sound there. We're gonna work on that. It was kind of a last-minute thing, you know. So, have you heard of the Slender Man?
Oh, yeah. I played the PS3 game Slender Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
What have you heard about it?
As far as I can gather, it's a legend where he kind of he appears. He's a Slender Man. He's really tall, 7-8 feet, something like that, and he appears kind of randomly. I don't know exactly what prompts him to appear.
Yeah. Okay.
But he usually wooded areas.
All right.
That's pretty much all I know about him.
Okay. What if I told you that the Slender Man is a myth? It's a creation that somebody did. All the photos are faked.
Oh.
In June 8th, 2009, it was a blogger by the name of, his alias is Victor Surge, later identified as Florida man Eric Knudsen. Now, they were doing a Create Paranormal Images contest, and he photoshopped a couple of images he had and sent them to the comedy website Something Awful, and it was the Slender Man, the Faceless Ghoul. And do you know what happened? The
idea was to see who could use their Photoshop skills to create the best new logical creature.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess what the website did was they kind of circulated it.
Yeah, it became a...
Circulated it as fact, or as a real sighting.
Right. People just started believing it was real. They didn't check it out, and it's all fiction. All of it.
So it's comparable to a Hollywood-produced special effect.
Right. He was trying to create a hoax. Like, his second photo was stamped with a fake library seal, as if he had gotten it. One of the two recovered photos, he said, from the Sterling City Library blaze. Notable for being taken the day which 14 children vanished and for what is referred to as the Slender Man. So he was creating a story.
Wow.
He was creating an urban legend story. Yeah, and people started taking it seriously. In fact, what happened was that people started worshiping it with like a cult-like following. And it turns out that after the trending happened and stuff, some girl, 2 preteens, these girls, tried to attempt murder in the name of worshiping the Slender Man.
Oh my God.
12-year-old girls, Morgan Geyser and Inessa Weiss, stabbed their classmate trying to sacrifice her body to the Slender Man. And this made it into a big thing. Now, I mean, of course you have to be careful. Things get blamed like that, like D&D and heavy metal music. So
Right.
who knows what the real story was? Maybe one of our Para X people can tell us.
She was even younger. She was 11 at the time.
11 and 12.
Wow.
And they got lost in this fantasy world. And the case blew up in tabloids. This is June 1st, 2014. Tabloids and online, and all these terrified parents were worried their children are going to be brain controlled by the Slender Man. And personally, I think weight shouldn't be an issue.
No.
You know, weight should not be an issue. Not especially he's a Slender Man. You know, it's. But so now
I
Knudsen,
think the next one should be the overweight man.
the overweight man.
Yeah.
Was kind of like
I think naming it the Slender Man was going for the creep factor.
Right.
Yeah.
By the way, reminding our audience, we are at Zen Comics today, so people are hanging out with us. What's your name, sir?
Tom.
It's Tom.
Hello,
Tom is
Tom.
here. Come say, wave to the camera, Tom. This is Tom, guys. He's here. Tom, you know any good ghost stories? You gotta speak loud.
Absolutely.
Speak loud. Come on over.
Absolutely. Depends on what you want to hear of my stuff.
Okay. Well, come on over. Like, get close to the microphone here. Tom's coming over, everyone. We're doing this. We're hanging out, and if you want to kind of get between us, sorry,
Actually, I brought my laptop because I got most of my pictures on there.
There you go.
right. But come tell us a ghost story, Tom. Can you hear him
tell us-
okay?
Tell us something. Is this something that happened to you personally, or something you heard? Or?
Yes.
And just speak loudly for the mics.
Let's see. Of course, we all being a reenactor. I'm a Civil War reenactor.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
Where at?
Unfortunately, we do Gettysburg. a lot.
Oh, you're a
Fantastic.
Gettysburg reenactor.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. I go to that.
Yeah.
And of course, we hang out on the main portion of the battlefield, and I go to my own haunt to it's Sachs Bridge. It's called, and I got a bunch of EVPs and stuff from
Ooh.
Sachs Bridge.
Sachs Bridge, yeah.
And 2009, I left the event early because I messed up my knee, and I left early. So I left early. It was about 5:30, 6 o'clock. I'm leaving the grounds. I stopped at Sachs Bridge because that's my hangout, and grabbed my recorder. Walk around the bridge. The last thing that I got before I left was look behind you, and it's on my laptop. And
Wow.
I took one picture. The last picture that I took was from my car towards the bridge and kind of into the woods. And I got this. I didn't look at it till like a couple days later because who looks at their photos?
Right.
Right.
And I got this image of a woman in a black dress, kind of in the woods, sort of, and where she's standing, there's actually a drop off that drops off into the creek. So it's kind of hard to, people say it's faked and everything, but it's kind of hard to fake something where she's standing in an area where it drops into the creek.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
it's actually pretty interesting.
Well, that's
So, how long have you been a reenactor?
Too long, 17 years.
17 years. I started going to the reenactment around '97,
Yeah.
and I've gone about 10 times since. So, I know there's a couple times I've been there where it's been like over 90 degrees, and you guys are walking around, and there's a wall,
Yeah,
Union and.
We're not as nuts as the Rebel War guys because those guys their material's a lot thicker than ours.
Oh man.
yeah, I bet.
yeah, I'm sure it is. Yeah, which is crazy because it's hotter down there. So
Just to let our Para X audience know, we don't know Tom.
Yeah.
He heard about the event here.
Yes.
And he came in to hang out with us.
we know about 2 minutes.
We know about 2
2
minutes.
minutes.
Yeah. And what would be great is if we could get your MP3s for the next show and have them all pre-programmed to go.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we'll bring you back. I mean, that's fantastic. And So they're saying hi, Tom. By the way, do we know Tom other than our passerby co-host? And Ceiling Cat says hi, Tom.
Oh.
That's our partial Parax Radio audience. So, yeah, so
just stepping over here for a second.
that's okay. I think what we're going to do is we're going to pause and get back to Tom in a few minutes, and we're going to play a ghost story that was sent to us from a British fellow called DJ Dead Zone. And we played this on a previous episode we've not done on Para X yet, but it's called The Gray Man on Para X Radio. Here today at the Phillie Foxxy Haunted Spooky Hour at Comic Zen.
Your source for everything paranormal. Para X.
This is DJ Dead Zone from Manchester, England. Just wanted to say a big thanks to T. Fox Dunham for having me on his last podcast. Awesome show. I hope everybody enjoys my ghost story, The Grey Man. What are you afraid of?
The Grey Man. I was about 10 years old and in my small bedroom wide awake one sunny summer evening. The curtains were open and I was just relaxing before bedtime. My parents were both downstairs watching TV. I started to hear footsteps coming upstairs. My first thought was it must be my father, because my mother was always busy and in a rush. The footsteps came onto the top step and onto the landing. I leaned my head to welcome my parent with a smile. What walked into the room was not my father. It walked towards the window and turned around to face me. My body froze with total fear as my mind went blank. The thing resembled a mannequin, male in appearance with eyeless sockets and a strange grey skin. My body kick-started itself out of bed as I attempted a frenzied escape. I managed to fumble past it with fear of it grabbing my leg. It just stayed in place, staring blankly. I bolted across the landing and onto the top step. To my horror, the thing had started to walk out onto the landing after me. My mind and body froze yet again with total fear and dread. With what seemed like slow motion, my body forced my feet to move. Every step felt like quicksand. About halfway down, my senses finally woke out of the terror as I jumped the last 8 steps with a thud. I turned around to make a dash to the front room door, but my head looked up to see the thing just standing and staring on the top of the stairs. I bolted and hit the front room door, screaming. I burst into the front room to bewildered parents who took hours to calm me down. My father went upstairs to investigate the grey man, but it must have gone back to whatever dimension it had come from. Looking back now on the episode, it wasn't a ghost or demon, neither was it an alien visitor. The thing was something else entirely. Why didn't it grab my leg? It had the opportunity to get me, but I believe this thing just wanted to make its presence known. I believe that one day this visitor will come to me again, but next time I'm not running.
My name is Greg Bakken. I'm a writer, a producer, and a paranormal investigator. My favorite way of communicating with spirits is through using the spirit box, also known as a ghost box. I invite you to listen to me every Wednesday at 10 p.m. Central for interviews with people in the paranormal community and beyond. Plus, I will also include as much of my spirit box evidence as I can during my show.
My name is Greg. Can you say Greg? Can you say Jeff?
Greg. Jeff.
Join me every Wednesday at 10 p.m. Central Time for Minnesota Ghost Box, only on Para X Radio.
Are you haunted by shadow people in the middle of the night?
Do you secretly love all things creepy and spooky, enjoying ghost stories and horror fiction from the best storytellers?
Do you have a true ghost experience you want to share, but no one will believe you?
If yes, listen to the professionals on What Are You Afraid Of? Horror Paranormal Show Friday nights at 9 p.m. on Para X Radio and at www.whatareyouafraidofpodcast.com.
What Are You Afraid Of on Para X?
Our creepy and demented hosts are on call to provide you with all your spooky needs with true ghost stories, interviews, indie music, and new horror fiction. We are ready to scare you.
Para X. Your source for everything paranormal. Para X.
Okay, we are back. Yeah. Tom's hanging out with us, and he's going to give us some EVPs that we're going to play on another show, because we're just telling him, this is the Phillie Foxxy Haunted Spooky Hour. This is our live once-a-month broadcast from Comic Zen in Lansdale P on First Friday. But we also do a pre-recorded show that's on at 9 p.m. on Friday nights on Para X Radio, Eastern Time. You got to tell people that. And it's also available on all major podcast download services, iHeartRadio, iTunes, the Foxxy Podcast Network. That's a dream I have. But it's there, and probably tonight we are going to cross our 70,000 download.
Yeah.
Tonight.
Cool.
Yeah. 47 shows.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank
So
you.
that was The Gray Man, sent in to us by DJ Dead Zone, and I've actually asked DJ Dead Zone if he can do us a new theme song for the Phillie Foxxy Haunted Spooky Hour. You know, something special for tonight.
Yeah.
Kind of like something harpsichord-like.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know. But a little word about the Swamp Music Players. They're a retro-futuristic swamp band with a passion for swamp rock, swamp blues, swamp funk. Apparently they have swamp funk twice. And
Swamp funk, it's so significant. It needs to be said twice.
Say it twice. And they're crossroads of rock and roll. They're just a great band out of Canada.
Swamp funk and swamp funk.
With Willie Boo Walker, you know. So, how is everyone tonight? Thank you for joining us
Hello.
on Facebook.
How
Sorry
are
you
you?
can't hear the music yet. We're working on this, kind of like a random thing we did. You know, Tom's hanging out over there. He was showing us some cool pictures. He's, out of Gettysburg, and we're going to get him back on the show with some of his stories, and also
He's got some
of his EVPs we'll listen to.
And he's got some photos and
that he
cool
heard.
things like that. Yeah.
And we have a good episode called Ghosts of Gettysburg.
Yeah, we do.
You know, it's available for download at www.whatareyouafraidofpodcast.com, and you can also find it on all the major episodes. And that's with an interview with Mark Nesbitt.
That's right.
That was a great episode.
Author of Ghosts of Gettysburg, obviously.
And we have a piece from him that he gave us permission to read coming on with the show at 9 o'clock tonight. Ghosts of War.
Yes.
Because war, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Phil, say it again. Yeah, we're singing tonight. I've had too much coffee and not enough rum.
We can arrange that.
Right.
Oh, you know what? The coffee is probably better for me, because if I had too much rum, I'd be singing the whole time. So
that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, at 11 o'clock, we're doing the Phillie Foxxy Drunken Singing Hour. Right.
Drunken Podcast Hour.
The Drunken Podcast Hour. Okay, I want to say that's a rare thing on Para X, but come on, guys, Friday night, it's really not.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry, but some of us are sipping back some wine back here, you know.
Actually, I don't think I've ever drank once during this show. Not even a single nothing.
I don't know if I can admit to that.
I don't think I really.
Okay. It's I gotta watch it. I gotta watch it Friday nights, because you get on and you want to have a sip,
I know better.
tip of the old jug.
I know better. If I do, it'll be disastrous.
But we are at or a whole lot of fun.
Yeah.
But we are at First Friday in Lansdale at Comic Zen. Tim Hershey, the owner, has a great shop here that you can see in the background. Some wonderful comic books. He's online. You can find links at the website at www.whatareyouafraidofpodcast.com, where you can also find our ghost story archive of all our ghost stories. And the best thing about it is that each ghost story we put up there has a narrator reading it with music and sound effects. So it's really, really awesome.
All our stories are narrated.
I know, all their stories are narrated. Yeah. Speaking of stories, I got something here. I gotta cue it up here. But I was in a recent anthology called Dead on Arrival from Bloodbound Books. And I was actually in their first one. I did a story about demons who feed off of sick people in hospitals. Kind of interesting, you know. And so I got into Dead on Arrival 3. They also published my novel Mercy, which I played commercials for. And so today's my day on the book club for the story The Broken Hearted, which I was telling you about.
That's right, you were.
I do a reading of later on in the story, but let me give you a little setup. My character has been on trial from the International War Crimes Tribunal because he created an algorithm on a dating site that was so good that everybody who used it got married a few months later and had this magical, wonderful relationship and found the true love of their lives for 10 years. After 10 years, one of them snaps and tries to kill the other, usually in a very violent way. And because all these world leaders, everyone, like 30% of the world's population had used this service, all of a sudden, all these world leaders were killed.
It's like a global outbreak.
Like the apocalypse. Yeah.
It's like Shallow Hal on a multi-level scale.
Right, there you go.
You see the person not exactly the way they are, and you see them as like a supermodel, right?
And my concept is that people aren't designed to be happy, like really happy. People are full of fear. Love isn't about being happy, and anybody who thinks that they should be happy all the time in love and they end their relationships because they're not, just don't understand people. You go searching for 100% eternal happiness all the time, every relationship you have is going to fail.
Right.
It's full of moments of joy, but it's about surviving and growing together and depending on each other and being a family. And I think that's what's really about. But I got The Broken Hearted here. Sorry, you going to say something?
No, I was going to say, it reminds me of something that I heard somewhere. I think it was in a movie. I believe it was 5 Days of Summer, where the guy, one of the main characters, was with his high school sweetheart.
Okay.
Like, with her a long time. I think her name was Michelle or something like that.
No.
But he said, like, Michelle is better than my dream girl because she's real. So I think it was interesting, perspective. She's better than my dream girl.
Right.
So because she's actually real. She's not a fantasy.
Mm-hmm. And then unfortunately what happens is people start overlaying their fantasies on people.
Yes.
And not accepting and loving them for who they are. So I got a couple-minute piece from a later part of that story to play tonight. This is from Bloodbound Books, Dead on Arrival. Jack Ketchum has a story in it. So really quite good. And you can go find it on Amazon.com. You'll find links on the website.
Jack who? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Oh man, he's listening right now. I just noticed that the editors at Bloodbound Books have signed in to listen to the Facebook thing. Phil, you're never getting published there again. You're screwed. You're done. Anyway.
I obviously know who Jack Ketchum is.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. This is The Broken Hearted from Dead on Arrival from Bloodbound Books, read by me, actually.
A reading from Bloodbound Books, new gory anthology, Dead on Arrival 3, by T. Fox Dunham, from his story, The Broken Hearted. My lawyer was right. He petitioned for mistrial, citing the vacancy of international code and corporate negligence, and the ICC made its decision in November 2014. As predicted, they couldn't pass a verdict under current international law. I was guilty of criminal negligence on a massive scale, but I hadn't committed genocide. The current international body of laws lacks the understanding and cannot adjudicate the human heart. They set me free, probably with the understanding that I'd most likely be, beaten to death by an angry mob before I could cross the border. I'd be punished more by the people of the world than any jail could impose. The United Nations declared that all couples brought together by my fantastic equation were to separate, many still happy. But I'd still broken the world's heart. Thousands of civil lawsuits waited for me in court, once the court system, started to work again after all the blood and guts and everything. I chartered a private jet back to Philly, traveling under the alias J. Wilburn. I landed at an airport in Doylestown, one of the few airports still functioning on the East Coast. I retrieved my Corvette from a storage unit, happy it hadn't been broken into, and drove to the city, dodging abandoned cars along I-95. Blackened bruises pockmarked the skyscrapers of Philly, and the brick buildings along the highway burned with impunity, without the remedy of a fire department. Smashed cars made a barricade at the Callow Hill Street exit. A tank had been turned on its side, and bullet holes pierced the surrounding SEPTA station and trains. I turned off into Center City, driving slow onto I-76.
National Guard still patrolled the streets. I sped up into the heart of the city, passing the cathedral at 30th Street Station. But once I got to Center City, I had to drive slow, passing overturned police cars and abandoned troop carriers. The city itself was a nightmare, as if martial law had been abandoned altogether, favoring the citizens to raze themselves to the ground before the government came back to rebuild. Fires burned out of control in the skyscrapers, spraying ash and glass into the streets. I'd seen carnage during my journey back into Philly, but what I witnessed here reminded me of a cheap slasher film. Americans had made violence an art, and we had plenty of guns to go around. A mob of teens smashed store windows, breaking into an appliance store, then tossing flat-screen televisions and computers onto Penn Avenue. I slowed to avoid the missiles, and turned to avoid a crowd of protesters running through the clouds of misty tear gas. I turned and drove along the curve to a fire lane in front of an apartment building, pausing behind an idling Buick. I had no choice but to wait for either the throng to clear, or the car in front of me to pull out. An old man wearing his bathrobe loaded suitcases into the trunk, while a woman, probably his wife or sister, sat in the driver's seat, pleading for him to hurry. He shut the trunk, and she turned her head to look behind, gazing at the man standing between our cars with a glassy glaze. I knew what was going to happen. Then the old lady simply put the vehicle in reverse, knocked the guy backwards, and slammed into the front of my Corvette. My airbag exploded, slamming my head into the window. She pushed my tinfoil car into a brick wall, and I felt a rib snap. Blood dripped down my face, and I struggled with the airbag, then pulled myself up and across the bucket seats to get out, collapsing onto the pavement. The pressure of the collision severed the old man's body, and his torso slid down the hood of my crumpled sports car and landed near me. Shredded intestines, slapped with blood, and bile smeared my suit. I slithered out of there, and got to my feet, keeping to the back streets. I had to get to my wife. I had to know.
Your source for everything paranormal. Para X.
Mercy, a new horror medical thriller from author T. Fox Dunham, published by Bloodbound Books. Based on the author's horrific battle with a rare form of lymphoma that involved intense chemotherapy and radiation, Fox turns the horror of his experience into terror on the page.
William Saint is dying of cancer. On most days, death seems like a humane alternative to the treatment. Stricken with fever, William is rushed to Mercy, notorious as a place to send the sickest of the poor and uninsured to be forgotten, and finds the hospital in even worse condition than his previous visit.
Willie's memories faded. He grabbed his the sack head of the scarecrow, picking at the exposed chicken wire to hold them in. However, the memories fell out of the holes in his face. They wormed and crawled from the leather flesh and the old clothing of the scarecrow, then squirmed and wiggled down his body.
The grounds are unkempt, the foundation is cracking, and like the wild mushrooms sprouting from the fissures of decay around it, something is growing inside the hospital. Something dark.
Fangoria gives Mercy 3.5 out of 4 skulls. Dunham has channeled his many brushes with the other side into the exquisitely rendered, lyrical, supernatural hospital thriller Mercy.
It's feeding on the sickness and sustaining itself on the staff, changing them, and now it wants Willie.
Come now, Mr. Saint. Just a little more of that sweet milk. So salty and so good. You won't miss it. And we ever do so like our delicacies here at Mercy Hospital.
Part medical horror, part supernatural suspense, Mercy is a hard-hitting fever dream of a novel. I enjoyed the hell out of it. Tim Wagner, author of The Way of All Flesh and Eat the Night. Available from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and bookstores everywhere in both print and digital versions.
Life is an addiction.
Let go. Let it all burn.
Finally, winter's icy and dead hand releases from our heart. It's summer. A time for cookouts, swimming, fishing, kayaking, campfire ghost stories, and zombies. Oh, see how they frolic in the parks and fields, eating squirrels and deer, shambling about in fun, rotting away in the summer heat. That decomposing smell of roadkill in the oven is the fun smell of undead zombie fun. Fun composing. Now see how they join your barbecue. Eating picnickers. What fun. Lemonade and spleens. No, stop. Instead of bombing them, let's all summer dance. Fun composing. Okay, I guess that didn't work. Back to the bombing. Fun composing. Fun composing.
Fun composing.
Your source for everything paranormal. Para X.
So, some great stuff happening here. Thanks everyone on Para X for listening so far in the chat rooms. Come say hi. And people seeing us on Facebook. And we'll work out the YouTube thing so they can hear.
I think it'd be great.
This was sort of a random thing tonight. I did. I need to work out Sam Broadcaster into the pipeline, and we'll figure it out. You know. But we're here with Tom tonight. How you doing, Tom?
I'm doing fantastic.
Yeah. You got any more ghost stories for us? You wanna share a little something? We've been.
You wanna come on in?
Come on in and.
Come on in, crouch down.
Getting tongue-tied here.
Yeah.
Anything else you can think of? Your experiences at Gettysburg?
Oh.
You got one?
There he is. He got very excited there.
He did get excited, yes.
Okay, we do normally do the stuff at Gettysburg each year, usually July 4th weekend, depending on when the event is held. And last year, me and a couple other reenactors were there out at Sex Bridge again, and we hear on recorder, clip clops of horses on the bridge, which is kind of cool. And we decided we were going to have some fun with some teenagers. They came up and parked on the wrong side of the bridge. They weren't supposed to be there, so we told them to park somewhere else. So they came down, the kids went down the road and came down the right road, and we're going to mess with them some more. And they turn off their lights halfway down the road. And on the tape, our tape says, you can hear us saying, "What are they doing?" And the three of us together, there was dead silence, and in chimes in, it's the cavalry came in, which was pretty cool. So it's pretty neat to have somebody say, "Hey, it's the cavalry." Of course, we're all in uniform too, so it's. So I was the only one in actually a CAV uniform.
Confusing the ghosts when you were in your uniform.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty neat. Because our one guy, he does the General Longstreet impression, and they were confusing him, and he looks pretty much like him in General Longstreet, and he was getting confused. They were getting confused with him and a real person out at the Triangle Field, out by the Devil's Den area, and that was actually that night we were in that area, and we're asking who's here, Alabama company or Texan company, and somebody said Texan, So it's like people were asking him for help because, of course, he was doing the general impression. And it's like, okay, it's your ball game. And it's on the tape. It's kind of weird to, you know, them to identify who everybody was, you know. But Bill, I mean, big, thick, bushy beard and everything, yes, couldn't miss that at all. But it's still pretty cool.
Yeah, it's wow. I mean, I'm so glad you came in tonight. You know, this is exactly what we were hoping to do.
Yeah.
You know, bringing people from the outside to
Very
come
random,
in.
not planned. We didn't.
Yeah, we've got the sign on the door.
Him.
We've been passing out stuff, and we've been advertising over the Lansdale pages and things like that. And you know, it's just amazing it's coming down. Hopefully, we're going to do this every first Friday and a couple of the other events, and we're going to build up people coming in and hanging out. Yeah. You know, and we'll be on Facebook.
Most of my EVPs and stuff are in Gettysburg, but I had a couple other things that were. I had one last year that was actually in a coal mine. He took us for a tour at night in the coal mine up in Coaldale, outside of Jim Thorpe.
Oh yeah, okay. I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like there's the state one and the private one.
Yeah, it's the private one.
Yeah, okay, that one's much better. They're much more gory. You know.
Well, we do a reenactment there anyway for that weekend, and they took us down, and we were there for maybe 50 minutes. For every minute that we were down there, we had one EVP, so we had 50.
Wow.
Whoa. And most of them were telling they wanted to either kill the guy that was giving the tour, or they were just telling us to, you know, what to do with ourselves. You know, it's every four-letter word you can imagine. So it's like
angry coal miners.
Well, why were you just not happy that he was there doing it, conducting the tour, or?
Well, the guy. They didn't like the guy that was giving the tour.
They didn't like him?
They didn't like him at all. And one of our guys made an offhand remark about the Irish coal miners, and that's what kind of made him mad.
Oh.
And the one where we were at was basically, it was kind of like an elevator, sort of, and they wanted to basically kill him and throw him down the shaft there.
Right.
So it's like
literally give him the shaft.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, give him the shaft.
Boom. Give him the shaft.
No, I wish I had I'll have a rim shot queued up next time, and have a ghost moaning behind it. That's our drummer, Ghost Bob. Nice. This has been great, and so we're gonna take a moment and pause and play a promotion or two, like for the Wormwood's Prophet Society, which is an anthology that we are in, that Mark Slade, a friend of mine, edited, and we sort of contributed some material to that. So that's coming out. You'll find links to that on the website. It's a fun little book.
Yeah.
Coming out from Rocket.
Coming out June 30th.
Right. So check that out. And we've also got they're called Nancy Nightmare and the Wizard. She's like a horror jock rocker. And we got some songs from there. And we're going to play a sneak peek of one tonight called Vampire Bites from Nancy Nightmare in the Wizard on the Foxxy, Phillie, and Tom Haunted Spooky Hour at Comic Zen in Lansdale, PA on first Friday. We thought it was going to rain. It's looking beautiful.
It did rain most of the day, and then all of a sudden it's gorgeous out now.
Yeah, it's gorgeous out there, and we were just going to rain. And my wife is somewhere at Abyss Coffee doing homework.
It's July. July. It's June 2nd, and it's like 70 degrees.
And we're fun composing.
Yes.
Fun composing. Yes. Yeah, that was great. We're going to play that every episode. Fun composing. Anyway, this is Phil and Fox, and we're going to play for you Vampire Bites in just a moment, and Nancy Nightmare and the Wizard.
Your source for everything paranormal. Para-X.
Yes. Oh, hi. My name is Hannah Bay. From the Gazette Times. The newspaper. You called us, remember?
Ah, yes, of course. Come inside, please. My name is Ordell Seether. I run this organization.
Yes. So you've said on the phone. A secret organization that has controlled all media and manipulated all history for more than 100 years. Look, I'm not big into conspiracy theories, so I'm having a hard time believing your claims.
And what claims were they?
Well, you said that you are a part of an organization calling themselves Wormwood Prophets Society, and you worship a godlike creature that has been slowly taking over humanity.
I said that? I do not believe I would say such a thing.
Look, you called me, mister. You made these crazy accusations. I have you on tape claiming you helped spin history. That you helped Hitler in World War II, the same time helping the Allies. I think it's baloney, but my editor sent me out here anyway.
Yes, I believe you are right. I did say those things.
You said you have proof that God exists.
Yes, I do. If you would step this way.
What the hell is that thing?
Drink in his beauty. Marvel at his intelligence.
Why is he in a tank of water?
Listen to the stories he spins. Believe the truths he tells.
I can't take my eyes off of it.
He is forever nameless to his people, but we call him Wormwood, and we are his prophets.
I can't take my eyes off of it.
Wormwood Prophets Society features stories by Mark Slade, Jason Norton, T. Fox Dunham, K.E. Moore, Phil Thomas, and D.W. Gillespie, with art by Chris L. Burke. This strange and bizarre anthology is published by Rogue Planet Press and can be found on Lulu.com and other outlets that sell books.
your source for everything paranormal. Para X.
Nightmare Nancy and the Wizard. Nightmare Nancy and the Wizard started releasing videos of their original music to YouTube in October 2015. From the depths of Nightmare Manor comes Nancy Nightmare and the Wizard, an alternative horror pop rock duo from Los Angeles. With musical influence that range from alternative rock to cabaret, they bring a macabre sense of humor to every spooky song they write. And we will be back on. And by the way, Ceiling Cat, no scones for you. I look like John Boy? No, it's now Ceiling Cat, K-A-T. No more scones. That's it. You are no longer Scone Cat. I'm done. I was cooking up a batch of cranberry scones. They're in the oven in the back. He's got a full kitchen back here. I was going to mail them off, but no, we're done. No, John Boy, no. By the way, I want to thank our listener from Australia that's in here, and we got a lot of great listeners on Facebook. It's actually going a lot better than I thought. But I think we need to close the show.
Yeah.
And it's been a great show.
Really fast. I can't believe there's only a few minutes left.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing. It's like I was going to play a ghost story, but we got to get off in like 2 minutes. So I think we'll just kind of close it out. We'll talk for a few minutes. Tom, come in here and say hi and goodbye to everybody. This has been Tom. Hi and goodbye. And we're going to have more information about him on the website. He's been amazing. He's been a lot of fun. And Ceiling Cat, you can hear me. I can't really type, but I'm going to hand off. You want to take the stream in a few minutes? We'll have like 2 minutes here. And it's been a lot of fun, hasn't it, Phil?
Yeah, it's been great. It's our second episode doing this. And I think it went really well.
Right. We're at Comic Zen in Lansdale for First Friday. If my wife can hear this, come and please get me.
Come on down. Even the person in Australia, Malaysia.
Come on down.
Get on a plane right now.
Get on a plane right now.
Here and,
and you're all getting scones but Ceiling Cat. But Tom's been great.
She's going to send you scathing emails tonight.
Oh, I'm sure I'm going to get them. I'm going to get these sad faces from her. Anyway, I'm T. Fox Dunham.
So how long were you in school?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was reading. She said you wing it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm Phil Thomas.
And Tom's here. And this is the Phillie Foxxy Horror Spooky Hour. We are the horror guys of Philly. And thank you for tuning in tonight at What Are You Afraid Of? Horror and Paranormal Show on Para X Radios on Friday night. And we will be back tonight at 9 o'clock with our recorded show, episode 47, Ghosts of War. Thanks for tuning in, guys. It's been fun.
T. Fox Dunham lives in Philadelphia with his wife Allison. He's a lymphoma survivor, cancer patient, modern bard and historian. His first book, The Street Martyr, was published by Gutter Book, a major motion picture based on the book is being produced by Throughline Films. Destroying the Tangible Illusion of Reality or Searching for Andy Kaufman, a book about what it's like to be dying of cancer, was recently released from Perpetual Motion Machine Publishing, and Fox has a story in the Stargate anthology, Points of Origin, from MGM and Fandemonium Books. Mercy was recently released by Bloodbound Books. Fox is an active member of the Harvard Association. He's been published in hundreds of short stories and articles, and his motto is Wrecking Civilization, one story at a time.
Phil Thomas resides in the suburbs of Philadelphia and is an author and filmmaker. His screenplays have been produced into feature films such as False Face and Always from Darkness that are available in major retailers such as Best Buy and Target, as well as availability on Netflix and Amazon On Demand.
The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of Para X, its affiliates, or its sponsors.